Hey you guys, it's Miranda here from the Swirly Do's Education Design Team, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how I created the background texture on the cover of my mini album. This month's technique kit was super fun. I've really had a blast. Mini albums are a weakness for me, so I really want to do just like mixed mini on here, and I will show like a start to finish on a couple of the pages I did in here. Let me open it up real quick, like this one and a couple different ones, but I did want to show you how I did the cover. I used tissue paper, which is like one of my favorite techniques, and I did a lot of spraying with the paint systems that come in the kit, and then also added a few extra elements, and you can see that crackle mask on there too. Super fun. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken just some plain tissue paper. I always save mine when I get packages of anything, and then also it's really inexpensive at any store. So I just take some leftover tissue paper. It's all wrinkled up already. We're going to create more wrinkles when we do it anyway, and I've just torn them up into different size sheets, and I'm just going to use some gel medium to adhere that down onto my chipboard base. These already come covered. I love that because sometimes you can see the paper through the tissue paper, the background paper through the tissue paper. And I'll show you another page I did really quickly where I just selectively added tissue paper. You can see on this one right here, I didn't do it down here, but I did it up here in the corner and kind of over here on the edge as well. So that was a really cool effect. You can still see the background paper coming through it, which is really fun. Okay, so this one I'm actually just going to cover completely like I did the cover. So I'm just going to get my gel medium over here, and I'm just going to use a paintbrush to apply it on there. And I'm just adhering some in random places, and then just adding my tissue paper and going over top of it. You can create as many wrinkles as you want with this. You know, if you want it more flat, just go down flat with it. If you want more wrinkles, you can just kind of push up with your paintbrush and it creates more wrinkles, and then just go over top of it with some more gel medium. This is a really basic technique. I'm sure everybody's used this or seen this done before, but it just works really good with this Tattered Angels paint systems that we got in this month's kit. I'm just going to keep going around my page until I get it completely covered. Okay, the tissue paper is completely dried. I haven't quite cleaned up the edges. I will do that later, but you can see the texture that you get on there. And I love the fact that the paper still shows through. A lot of that will probably get covered up, but like I showed you on the other page, some of it will still show through, so it's just a really awesome. It gives the page a lot of depth. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the paint systems that come in the kit, and we're going to use everything that comes in the paint system, and I'm just adding one extra thing to it. I know we all have a ton of mist in our stash, so whatever color you kind of want this to go with, I'm choosing to use some shimmers from my stash in Abominable Blue to make it coordinate. It matches this like perfectly. So I'm going to follow all the steps the same, and in your kit you get the little booklet with all the steps in there. I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Whenever I do this one, I'm adding this one, so just kind of giving it more color. So you want this to pool. The more puddles the better, and I actually let mine dry on its own instead of heat setting it, because I did it both ways and I found that it just did better if I let it dry on its own. So I'm adding a lot of the blue because that's basically what the color I like the best is. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the woven burlap, and you can use a paintbrush to apply these. I'm just going to spray them, I'm just going to randomly go around, kind of on the edges, and then just a little there in the center and a little down there. Then I'm going to go in with the Tattered Leather. Beautiful color. And they say to put this wherever you did not add the woven burlap if you follow the directions, but just play with this stuff, y'all, and find what you like. I actually like to do it right where I did this one, just to kind of give it more depth. So there in the corner, a little bit down here, and then I'm going to add a little bit more of the woven burlap in here as well. Give it a lot of depth. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Glimmer Glam. And this one is in Cowboy. Really pretty. Lots of glimmer. Giving it a really good shake because most of that mica and stuff is down there in the bottom of it. And I'm just going to use a paintbrush, get some on there, and kind of flick it. And I like to add a lot of this because it kind of like is texturized, if that makes sense. And when it dries, it's just really pretty. Okay, and then last step is to go in with your other color. You would go in with this one if you're following the directions. I'm going to go in with some more of the blue. It just kind of gets everything activated and mixed up together. Now what I found when I heat set it is that it started like moving the way the colors are. I like the way this is right here. So I'm just going to let it dry naturally. This is probably going to take some time, so just have some patience. And as it's drying, you can kind of go in and add more of the other colors kind of where you want them to. That's the beauty of letting it dry on its own. It's really slow and you can kind of control it more. So I actually really like the way that looks right there. And let me zoom in without moving the chipboard. You can see all the amazing texture that we have created there. So I'm going to let this dry, and when it is done, I will come back and show you. Okay, so all of this is completely dried now, and you can see what you are left with. It's really awesome effect. I'm absolutely in love with it. And if you can look closely, you can see a few spots where those polka dots from the background paper are showing through. It just adds to the depth and everything. I really like it. So the only thing I did on the front of mine is I added a couple of different colors to it as well. But for this page I just wanted to do the blue. But I did the same thing here, but I added a couple of like pinkish tones in there and goldish ones, but I used all the same paint system as well. So you can achieve different effects by just mixing the paint system with other mists from your stash. I'll show you a couple of tags I did as well, kind of playing with the different color combos and the crackle mask and stuff. This one is just pure the metals, just the system. Absolutely cool. Love it a lot. And then this one was using the blue again. So just play around and mix it up and have fun. And now I'm going to go into a time-lapse video of me just finishing up a couple of the other pages. If you guys have any questions, just shoot me a comment down below, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.